trust provide the strength and wisdom to perform the duties and fulfill the responsibilities required by our oaths of office. May our actions be pleasing to God and meet the expectations of the citizens we serve. Amen. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will go ahead and call our meeting to order for October 17, 2023. Council members, you have minutes before you from October 3rd. What's your pleasure?
Make a motion to accept as presented. Second.
Motion and a second on the floor. Is there any discussion about the minutes from October 3rd? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Before we get to public comments, I am going to ask that the council vote to amend the agenda and strike item C concerning perimeter netting for the sports complex. So I'll entertain a motion to strike item C from our agenda tonight. Motion and a second on the floor. Further discussion? Just for the record, we did get some other information from the Western Union Soccer Association, and they've helped us out to reduce the cost of those perimeter nets. So we're going to strike that for now. Likely we come in at the threshold that we can just go ahead and move forward with that project. But the anticipation was to get that done before the regional soccer tournament next year. So we have a motion and a second to strike item C. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We are to public comments. Ms. Sydney Grove, 1214 McClung Avenue, Apartment 7. You have the floor.
Hi, my name is Sydney, and I'm here to talk about newsletter. Newsletter is a fun activity which is a newspaper for the kids and adults of Barboursville to learn about the community and fun activities going on in this wonderful town. The benefits of newsletter are knowing when and where carnivals, conventions, and other events take place, doing fun word searches, and so much more. The activities on the newsletter would be word searches, crossword puzzles, and more fun things. Also, elementary school and middle school kids could write a poem and have it published in the newsletter. There are so many more perks on the newsletter, but I'm going to talk about the student and mayor recording program. We should start a program where elementary and middle school kids get to be picked each month to spend a wonderful day with our mayor, or they could also spend a day with a recorder. Students would learn what it means to be a mayor or a reporter. They would return to school after lunch and write a 3 to 4 paragraph on what they learned. So in conclusion, I believe that we should get off our screens and read.
Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Jacob Mitchell, 703 Water Street. You have the floor, sir.
Good job, Sydney. This is some of the information that she also gave me.
Okay.
It's just like the program, things that you can involve with the newsletter. But I was, you said that you were supposed to get a hold of the water company and get those additional addresses. I have something even better for you to offer. During the election, when we came in to run for city council or mayor or recorder, Paula gave us all a copy of the voters registration roll. So we would know whose door to knock on so we could get our petition signed. And I actually went to high school with the girl who lives at, or not lives, heaven say, who works at the voters registration office. And I have a copy of precinct 45 and 46. If you would like for me to email that, I'd be happy to email it. But with what Sydney said, I've been, of course, I talk about this a lot at home. And Sydney and, ironically, Sydney both started giving me some ideas, and it really does stick. Like, I talked to a couple of council members, and our children are our future. So what better of a tool? We set a thing called a weekly reader every month in school. We learned about something science, we learned about something social studies, we learned about something current events. And then we did a report on it. And what better of a tool to use? Teachers could use the newsletter in the school, especially at this time of the year. This would be the best time of the year to have it back. We have Thanksgiving coming up, we have Christmas coming up, we have Halloween coming up, New Year's coming up. And what better of a time for our citizens to know what's going on than right now? When's trash gonna be late? Cause oh my gosh, Barboursville 911 blowing up. When's the trash gonna be late? And I mean, it's a pertinent question. But as you all know, I'm very passionate about this, and it's one thing that I see of vital importance for any democracy to thrive. It must have transparency, and it must have openness to share its accomplishments and ideas. And I truly believe that, like I said, I'd be happy to email that if y'all don't already have it on file, because it does list every registered voter. And let's be honest with ourselves. Do you want someone who's not gonna vote in the election or get involved in politics, send back that postcard asking for the newsletter? Or would you rather have somebody that's gonna get involved, maybe show up to council meetings to say yes or no? And that voter roll gives 2,237 registered voters in the village, which breaks it down to about 1,100 homes. So that's all I have this evening. I think it's great that Sydney are wanting to get involved more, and for the mayor's program, I've wrote that out for you. I think it'd be great. Spend a half a day with you and make it free lunch. as for the recorder, and then they could go back to school and they could write a paper about what they learned, what they didn't know, what they did know. And if we're to teach our children they're the future, would you rather teach your own children now or have someone teach them later?
Thanks for being here. A couple of things I'll say that part of the curriculum at both Martha and Barboursville Elementary School is that our students do come and spend some time with us. We also do allow job shadowing, so I appreciate the comments about that. Part of that's within agreement with the school board about
Right.
what their curriculum is. But we certainly encourage that with the teachers who have that as part of their curriculum. Secondly, due to the feedback we received about the newsletter, and Rachel and Brandy, our CBB director, and several people in City Hall have been looking at options about the newsletter. Starting December 1, the newsletter will return with calendar of events, with holiday closures, holiday delays, things of that nature, but it'll be full of public information.
I just want to say thank you,
Of
because you have no idea
I appreciate that.
how much backlash, not from you all,
Right.
heaven forbid, that's where you think it'd come from. It's from all the negativity in the community. Nobody wants to come, nobody believes you all can do anything, nobody believes that this room is capable of anything
Right.
good.
Well, I'll
And
say
it
this.
proves that that's absolutely false.
Yeah, and I'll also say this. So what we're gonna do along with that newsletter, paper copy, is the company that Brandy and Rachel have engaged allow us to create a QC code, the QR code. So anybody that wants a newsletter can get it on their phone. If they want to copy that QR code to their computer, they can get it on their computer. We will also be able to do text alerts to our citizens through this contract as well. So if it's a day that trash is a day behind, that text comes out on a Sunday, and everybody knows the trash is delayed by that week. So you get hard copy, you get a QR code, and potentially text alerts and or email alerts too. We're still looking into the particulars,
Right.
but starting December 1st, the calendar of events, and it'll be an evolving document, but we'll get there.
Okay.
But starting December 1, the newsletter will return in that form.
Almost proud.
And I want to say too, thank you for the feedback from the citizens. Also, thank you to Brandy, Rachel, and the staff in City Hall who have been helping on this project. And it is our desire to be transparent. And I think if anyone looks around our city, there are plausible results about how our city operates and how dedicated our employees are, from police department to fire department, public works and street department. 99% of our meetings end with how great our employees do, and I think it's because of tangible, visible results.
Wow.
So I want to say that I appreciate those guys too. And for anybody who doesn't see those results, you're not looking.
That's
because
right.
they do a fantastic job.
Can I suggest with the paper copies that maybe when they do the newsletter, since someone had suggested this during the election, and I didn't know it existed, and you brought it up at least twice since the election, that they can recycle it. Don't
Yeah.
throw it in the trash. Like maybe put like an article in there about the recycling program that we have, because I mean, you may only get 5 more people, but that's still 5 more than you had to begin with.
Yep. Thanks for being here tonight. I appreciate it. We do not have anyone else sign up to speak. We do not have old business, but we do have a couple of things under new business. And the first is consideration of the resolution 2023-11 for acceptance of the audit proposal from David House CPA in the amount of $15,720 for fiscal year 2023 and $16,505 for fiscal year 2024. This is the firm, again, we're talking about transparency, this is the firm that does our audit for the city's financials every year. John works in tandem, and Chandra said he worked in tandem with David Howe's office to ensure that our audit goes smoothly. This is the contract amount for the next 2 years, and I'd like to go ahead and entertain a motion to approve that resolution for the contract with David Howe.
I'll make that motion.
Motion and a second on the floor. Is there any further discussions or questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item is consideration of approval resolution 23-12 for the purchase of 200 tons of de-icing salt from Compass Minerals at a cost of $103.90 per ton for a total of $20,780 for the street department.
Make a motion.
Motion and a second on the floor to fund in the amount of $20,780 for salt for street department. Any further questions, comments?
That is the state contract for the.
Yes, yes, sir.
That what we are required to do.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and again, that,
But we certainly want.
John, how does that work just for we don't have to take all of it, and I don't understand, you guys explain this every year, and I don't
Well,
understand.
the contract is for 200 tons, and we only are required to take 80% of it. If we don't take 80%, then you have to pay a storage fee, to get it the next year, but that would only be 160 tons that we have to take, and we have room for that at this time.
Other questions?
Have we decided whether we're gonna add on to the salt bin over there, or is that,
We're thinking about adding a new building.
okay?
Yeah, we're running out of room for sure.
We talked
Yeah,
about
there's
that
an
last year.
Well, not only that, but there's been an increase in the roads that we have to service, but there also has been, through traffic at the park during the winter time as well. So that's something that didn't occur in the past.
Right.
So it's taken a lot of salt.
Okay,
Sorry.
sorry, go ahead.
No, our needs have increased, and it just makes sense to be able to rotate the salt from not just one bin, but from 2 bins, and have more salt on storage, because if we run into a major, winter that we're not expecting, we would probably need more salt than what we have on this contract.
I think on the last time that it was brought up, we thought that we had 2 different buildings for it already, right?
No, we just have one.
We just have one.
There's a small storage
Small.
that's very, very small, you can't back a vehicle up to it, that held cinders. That was the second that they were referring to, but not a salt shed.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the amount of, the tonnage in the amount of $20,780 for the street department. If there's no further discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Since we have stricken item C from our agenda, we are now on to comments and closing remarks from council. Donnie, you go first tonight, since you were mad about being last time.
All right,
I
well.
will say too, I got great feedback on your audit trail in the last couple
Oh,
weeks.
thank
so-
you. It's,
Yeah.
can't control the weather, of course, but, hopefully we will get some good weather and close out the season, on high note. It has been done very well. The help's done great, and, some people in this room have been very helpful with it, and it's a labor of love, I guess. It's tough. I guess they always say if it was easy, everybody'd do it. So, but it's doing pretty well, and we wanna make it grow, and we wanna, make it an annual event. We wanna make it, in the end, we want it eventually to make it a destination for not just residents here, but, far and wide. So we'll see how it goes, and we keep on working that way. I think we should increase with one of the programs that would be a great addition would be the weekly mountain hike with the mayor also. I do remember there was a hike from mayor sometime there, a weekly and a mountain hike. It's great.
I think it should be a deer hunt, man.
Well, I thought I'd bring that up. Since I get,
Are you gonna pull Dick
since I
Cheney?
get to go first.
Are you gonna pull Dick Cheney?
Yeah.
No, but one thing I would like to bring up is that I remember when Tanyard Station was getting built and everything, the discussion come up about, having accessibility from the Barboursville side into the Menards, and we were told that, no, there would not be a drive-in area, but they told us that there would be some kind of breezeway where you could get foot traffic and or bicycles and that kind of stuff. So people that wanted to come over in there could and couldn't get back. But I guess that's not the case.
That was more with CSX than the actual development. CSX was opposed to that idea back when all it transpired. We're the railroad is one of the hardest entities to work with.
But
Okay.
with that being said, do you want all these transits coming into our town when we have a lot right now that goes down Main Street with their backpacks and their bicycles? I don't.
Well, I'm thinking of the residents not having to walk to work down Water Street and then down Route 60 to get to work, or just people that might walk around town anyway and say, well, I can just walk over and look at, check out Menards, and so I see your side too, though, but
The problem
I just
back
think-
then was more with the railroad than anything else.
Yeah, I just don't think it's a bad idea to have a place that our residents don't have to get in their car and drive 3 miles instead of walk a block.
May I add some, I know it's council, but Huntington has the bike lane.
I'm on
Sorry.
hold off and let
Sorry.
council have their time.
No, I mean, that was kind of the end of it, but I just thought,
Okay.
it might be something that is possible to revisit.
There was actually a design done by Region 2 Plan Development Council who helped us out with the Farmville sidewalk. They had actually done some design work for a raised walkway up and back, if you remember, Paul, when you were still here. But it was more problems with the railroad than anything else, and they were the ones who pretty well put the hooscow on that project. Even the sidewalk ever was not anything that they were agreeable to. Yeah, unfortunately.
Is this something they can?
It was something about having multi-tracks where that crossing would have to be, more than anything else, because the sidewalk, as you know, on Main Street is just straight across one track, but I remember there were several problems with that, and was the reason the request was denied.
Well, I think it's, maybe worth a second look, but,
Sure.
it's, to me, it seems like it makes common sense that, give our residents a way to go over there without driving.
Anything else, sir?
Nope.
Rick?
Sydney, thank you for coming. It takes a lot to do that. We really appreciate it. And I think all of us, it means a lot to us. But I would like to thank everybody for coming. I don't have a lot of comments tonight. It's been a busy day for all of us, but I thank all of you for coming. If you ever need anything, like I always say, let me know. I do what I can to help out.
I know that we had discussed this before, but the underpass on out near, Park, has the state been more receptive to right to roam?
Towards the park. Oh, Main
Park,
Street,
Main
towards
Street.
Main Street. That is supposed to happen when they do the redo of Route 60. That's what we were told by, it wasn't Dave at that time. I can't remember who it was, but that's part of the redesign of the 60 improvements. When they go to either I think there's a third lane and a fourth lane in some spots based on it, but I'm not sure how far along or when that project's even gonna happen. But that was a promise. They did smack our hand over putting our own sign up, but there was a consideration for that. And the other thing that people have asked about too, since we're talking about the highway department issues here along 60, was the right turning lane. They did at Payton Street, as you're coming down Kmart from the Big Lots Plaza. We had requested that they do that. That project was, I won't say it was fully funded and approved, but they did survey for it and figured that it was doable. So we did ask that question again as well, to alleviate some traffic issues along 60 beside Barboursville.
Thank you.
Paul, is that?
That's it. Thank you for standing up and saying that. I know it took a lot of courage, but you did a really good job. Thank you. Also wanna ask about the leaf blower, Danny, has it started yet?
So,
The leaf blower?
next week.
Next week?
Leaf pickup.
Okay, and I know we still have the water leak over on Water Street, but I know that's water coming in, takes forever for them to do anything.
Water Street.
No, excuse me,
McClung?
no.
Well,
McClung.
Yes,
getting
McClung,
worse.
excuse me,
Yeah,
McClung.
It's gonna end up causing a sinkhole if it's not done, something done. they went there and dug a hole and then filled it full of
Yeah.
asphalt.
We've talked to them several times, just so you know.
Donnie, that was a great comment about the Pine Trail. People are really enjoying it, so thank you for doing that. Thank you, Chris, Brandy, and Rachel for bringing back the newsletter. I'm ecstatic about that. I think it's well worth it. I think we need it. And now that we have other means of getting it out to people that don't want paper, then I think it's perfect. Thank you all for doing that. That's all.
I'll just say thanks everybody for being here. Our calendar events will be out in probably the third week of November. So that first newsletter will be actually out before the 1st of December. So they'll be able to see all this stuff that's going on in the month of December, Christmas events and things of that nature. Our Christmas parade too, just for the record, is November 30th. If we had waited another week, we'd have been a little bit too far along and everybody would be begging for our Christmas lights to be turned on. So November 30th is the Christmas parade, but all those events will be listed in the calendar events coming up, and we'll also put those online. So thank you all for being here. We'll adjourn the meeting.